You guys, we have got to talk about Ned Fulmer because he has recently done a little career pivot that I don't think anyone saw coming, and we're going to get into what people have had to say in reaction to all of this, plus some of the other things that he's done recently. He's trying to have this whole comeback moment, and I'll just tell you, the internet is not having any of it. Last month, we were talking about Ned Fulmer for the first time in a long time, and that alone had the internet raising its eyebrows. Out of nowhere, Ned popped back into the public conversation when he announced that he was launching a brand new podcast called Rock Bottom. This marked his first real step back into the spotlight after being really silent for nearly 3 years following that cheating scandal. Ned was best known as one of the Try Guys, a content group that grew massively from BuzzFeed onto its own channel, and in September 2022, his affair with an employee at the Try Guys came to light. Fans exposed him after catching him out with said employee, and photos went around and the story went viral because, well, Ned was known as the wife guy. He was always talking about his wife. He always wanted to brag about how much he adored his wife, how in love they were. So for him to be caught in a cheating scandal, well, nobody was believing this. It was crazy. They just couldn't process it. They felt so bad for his wife, Ariel. That scandal led to him being removed from the Try Guys content. He was edited out of the future videos, and he really stepped away from the public eye. For the next 3 years, he wasn't doing anything. His wife Ariel was extremely adored, like I said. The Try Guy fans loved her. She used to appear in Try Guys content, and she was featured on the podcast with other partners of the Try Guys. But after the scandal, she went completely offline. When Ned resurfaced with his podcast, his first episode was with his wife Ariel. And at first, when he said that he was doing this podcast and said that he was going to be doing the first episode with Ariel, people were like, "No, Ariel, we can't believe that you stayed with him." And she was kind of getting some backlash. But upon actually watching the episode, you guys, you could see it was very clear she had not forgiven him. She was telling him to his face that she hadn't forgiven him. And they said that they were just really co-parenting, that they had not been romantically together in a while. And it sounds like they are just strictly civil and trying to make things work, at least friendship-wise, for the sake of their children. Fans of hers were happy to see that she wasn't going easy on him in the podcast and was holding him accountable for his actions. And afterwards, people were left wondering why he even really wanted to start this podcast. Though he said it was so he can interview other people who essentially have also hit rock bottom, the first episode just didn't win him affection from the public. Honestly, it kind of had people not liking him even more. He's continued to post weekly episodes where he's interviewing different people, but he's suddenly taken a very random turn in his career, and I don't know if he's just doing any and everything now to put himself out there or what. Try and get people to like him by publicly embarrassing himself. I don't know what the plan is, but this past week he did something that I thought was a joke at first until articles started coming out saying that it was for real. So the other night I saw Ned post that he was going to be making his wrestling debut, and I really thought it was a joke. Like, seriously, I'm not kidding you guys. I did not think he was serious, but it was serious. On October 8th, Ned made a untelevised pro wrestling debut at All Elite Wrestling in Florida. Yes, like actual wrestling. He wrestled under the name Nasty Ned, which sounds like something that you'd read when someone is like roasting him on Reddit or something, but apparently that is the name that he decided to choose for himself. Photos show him ringside along other wrestlers, but the match wasn't aired. This wasn't a huge TV debut, more like a test drive, an entrance back into the public eye maybe through spandex and elbow drops. I don't know if this is just a one-time thing that he's deciding to do, how this opportunity even landed in his lap, I really don't know, but some people think maybe he's doing this all to kind of lean into being the villain or something. Once photos were posted from the event, that's really when the opinions started flying as people said, "What is bro doing, like, for real?" It's giving 2000s Crash Out vibes. He wants to be the new Logan Paul, trying to be Jake Paul. The name too, like, ew. I can't think of anyone less suited for wrestling. Not on my bingo card. Now, this isn't the only thing that Ned is doing these days, because he also recently posted that he was doing stand-up. And this one actually gets kind of interesting here, okay? It almost feels like he's trying to take some sort of power back from his cancellation a couple years ago with the way that some of his latest moves are aligning, and I'll explain. Well, Ned posted on his Instagram this poster. The notes for him were pathological desperation to please and trust issues. Well, Ned, I wonder where these trust issues come from. Feels like you kind of give people trust issues, but anyway. I thought to myself, is this new for Ned? Because I felt like the Try Guys maybe did stand up before, like a video where they tried to do stand up. And so I looked it up and well, what do you know? The first video to pop up is this one, Try Guys, Try Stand-Up Comedy, which this video was one of the videos going around on Reddit at the time that Ned was getting exposed for cheating because he was strategically being cut out of this video. You could see his shirt at times, but then they cut him out. So he wasn't in the video at all, but you kind of knew that he was in the room with them and everybody just wanted to know, why was Ned being cut out? It was this whole thing in their comment section at the time because unless you were on Reddit, you didn't know about the rumors of him maybe potentially cheating on his wife. Obviously now we know that ended up being the truth, but at the time, Reddit was like, I think this is why he's being cut out of the videos. And we also know now that, he was being cut out because he was fired and the guys were trying to still salvage some of the content that they had previously filmed prior to the scandal, and they were just trying to cut around him in some ways so that they didn't lose all the money that they spent filming these videos that he was featured in. So I wonder if him doing stand-up is in some ways him trying to reclaim this moment or something, because people wondered that with the podcast as well, because the month that he posted the podcast with Ariel was the same time frame as when the scandal went down 3 years ago. It just feels like he's trying to reclaim this whole time period, like the month of September. He's trying to make it right for himself again. I don't know how well it's working for him though. Every time he posts online, everyone says that they are unfollowing him and the video reminded them that they needed to do so, or they're telling him to leave the internet, or saying that he really thought he could just come back and are just shocked by him. And with his podcast, it's not looking good. Like the people in the comments of the clips that he's posting on Instagram, people are like, this ain't it. This is not the rebrand move. Honestly, it's pretty sad and manipulative of you. Please stop. He's trying to make himself feel better about his own mistakes. That's all the podcast is. I think it's clear he wants forgiveness and for people to understand people make mistakes, because his whole podcast is about people hitting rock bottom and having these really low lows, being canceled, having addiction, all of these things, and trying to do better later in life. And I think that is what Ned wants for himself. He wants the internet to forgive him and be like, oh, we understand, Ned. We see what you're doing. You're having all these people on your podcast who have been able to overcome their rock bottom. And you really want the internet to be like, yes, Ned, we see you're a different person now. But the internet doesn't believe him. They don't believe him, especially when he posted that podcast with Ariel where she hasn't even forgiven him. So it's like, why would the internet forgive you if your wife has not forgiven you?
People ask me, like, do you forgive Ned for what he did? And I mean, the answer is no, absolutely not. How can you forgive somebody for lying to you, for cheating on you? No, fuck no. I don't even, sorry, I saw red for a minute. It's like, no, the answer is no.
It's hard to hear you saying, no, I don't forgive you. But of course I get it. I mean, you're still, as much progress as we've had, you're still very angry.
That is why it is so confusing as to why he even posted that episode with her. I feel like they should have recorded that and he should have just been like, you know what? Never mind. Not a good idea. I don't think that I'm gonna win the internet over. But I guess that is maybe why he's trying his hand at a bunch of different things now. Wrestling, comedy, trying to maybe see which one's gonna work out for him. I'm not sure. Certainly brave of him. And also brave of him to have the comments on all these videos too. Like, I was shocked to notice that his comment section was not limited on Instagram because they're pretty harsh. I don't know. But anyway, that's what's going on with Ned Fulmer right now and his interesting career pivots as of late. I certainly want to know what you guys think about the fact that Ned is trying to redeem himself in these very random ways. Let me know all of your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.